Okay, we're going to be solving and graphing inequalities. So this first one here, we need to isolate x, so we're going to add 1 to both sides. Just becomes 0. And we're going to divide by 2. And we end up with x over here, and we have 0. So we need to be able to read this appropriately to know how to graph it. You always read with the variable read first. So x is greater than or equal to 0. Right, so essentially I just rewrote it with the variable listed first. X is greater than or equal to 0, so we have a solid point, and x is greater than, so we're going to go this way. Okay, all right. Next question, we're trying to isolate the x, but we can combine these x's first. So I have 2x minus 4x is negative 2x. Now remember, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality. Divide by negative 2. So this becomes x, and I need to flip this. So it's greater than or equal to now, and this is going to be a positive 1. So x is greater than or equal to a positive 1. Positive 1, we have a solid circle because it includes 1, and it's greater than or equal to. All right, now we have some absolute value inequalities. Okay, so we have a greater than sign. Remember that greater is going to be an or statement. Okay, when we go and solve the two equations, greater. So we have x minus 2 is greater than 3, or x minus 2, and here we're going to grab a different color. We're going to flip this. It's going to be a less than, and we're going to make this a negative 3. Okay, that's the only thing that's different from the left and the right. And we go ahead and solve. So we add 2, x is greater than 5, or add 2, x is less than negative 1. And it should look like an or statement when we go and graph this, meaning that the arrows go the opposite ways. And we typically write the smaller number first and the bigger number second. So I'm going to do x is less than negative 1, or x is greater than 5. Open circle, because this does not include negative 1. Less than negative 1, or greater than 5. Okay, and you could check a point in the middle here and see if it doesn't work, because that's what should be the case. If I pick 0, 0 minus 2 is 2. The absolute value of 2 is greater than 3? No. Okay, if any of these numbers will not be greater than 3 once you plug it in. Okay, and these numbers will work, satisfy the inequality. Okay, so let's see here. I have a less than, so it's going to be an and. So we're going to go 4x plus 10 is less than 14. And, 4x plus 10. We're going to flip that, and we're going to change the sign. And now we go through and we solve. So we subtract 10 from both sides. X is less than 1. And we subtract 10 from both sides. Divide by 4. Okay, so this is an and statement. So if we put our smaller number here, I know that x is greater than negative 6 and x is less than 1. Okay, so no line because it doesn't include negative 6 and 1. So negative 6 and 1 greater than negative 6 and less than 1. So that's going to be all of these numbers.